Do one thing every day that scares you. Fear is a natural reaction to moving closer to the truth. You gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you really stop to look fear in the face. Passion is energy. Feel the power that comes from focusing on what excites you. Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. The purpose of life is not to be happy, it is to be useful, to be honorable, to be compassionate, to have it make some difference that you have lived and lived well. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking. Don't settle. It's not whether you get knocked down, it's whether you get up. I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. The only place where success comes before work is in the dictionary. Success is not the key to happiness. Happiness is the key to success. If you love what you are doing, you will be successful. Believe in yourself and all that you are. Know that there is something inside you that is greater than any obstacle. Positive thinking will let you do everything better than negative thinking will. The only limit to our realization of tomorrow will be our doubts of today. You are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream. Success is not the key to happiness. Happiness is the key to success. If you love what you are doing, you will be successful. Success seems to be connected with action. Successful people keep moving. They make mistakes, but they don't quit. I have learned over the years that when one's mind is made up, this diminishes fear. The secret of your success is found in your daily routine. We become what we repeatedly do. Motivation is what gets you started. Habit is what keeps you going. The greatest day in your life and mine is when we take total responsibility for our attitudes. That's the day we truly grow up. In the long run, we shape our lives and we shape ourselves. The process never ends until we die, and the choices we make are ultimately our own responsibility. You must take personal responsibility. You cannot change the circumstances, the seasons, or the wind, but you can change yourself. Self-care is not selfish. You cannot serve from an empty vessel. Self-love is not selfish. You cannot truly love another until you know how to love yourself. Self-care is a divine responsibility. The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing. He who is not a good servant will not be a good master. The unexamined life is not worth living. Man is the measure of all things. Happiness is the highest good. To live is the rarest thing in the world. Most people exist, that is all. In the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. The only way to deal with this life is to find the joy in it. The only thing that is real is the present moment. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Life is really simple, but we insist on making it complicated. I think, therefore I am. The purpose of our lives is to be happy. To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. The only source of knowledge is experience. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. It is not the man who has too little that is poor, but the one who craves more. The mind is everything. What you think, you become. Be the change that you wish to see in the world. Life must be understood backward, but it must be lived forward. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. The greatest happiness you can have is knowing that you do not necessarily require happiness. Change is the only constant in life. You cannot step into the same river twice. The secret of happiness, you see, is not found in seeking more, but in developing the capacity to enjoy less. To be free is not to have the power to do anything you want, but to have the power to do what is right. The only thing we owe each other is the truth. The greater the difficulty, the greater the glory. Life is what happens while you are busy making other plans. The key to growth is the introduction of higher dimensions of consciousness into our awareness. Do not anticipate trouble or worry about what may never happen. Keep in the sunlight. It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live. The hardest thing to learn in life is which bridge to cross and which to burn. Wisdom begins in wonder. The value of life is not in its duration, but in its donation. True knowledge exists in knowing that you know nothing. He who is not a good servant will not be a good master. Happiness is not something ready-made. It comes from your own actions.